welcome architect Niroop Reddy of NA Architects.
So before I start the talk, I think students nowadays you just need to know something in the practice of architecture. So, a lot of us see success because each individual has a lot of talent, a lot of creativity. So, which boils around, when you want to do your first project, you're always pumped up. You want to do something new. You want to, showcase your skills. But this, I've seen a lot of youngsters who work with me, or I've seen a lot of young professionals who've been fading away because they think one or two projects, being successful means, they could do rest of their life. They could be. It's not that. When I started my profession in around 2002. It was very, very different those days. But now you have everything available. You have exhibitions happening, conference happening. There's a lot of platforms for students and architects. So when we started, there was nothing like this. It was all about even to meet an architect, it used to, suppose I want to meet an architect, it used to take us 2 years, 3 years also. So what I would suggest for students is, design is one of the important for an architect, but at the same time, you should have patience. Patience is at most one of the important qualities an architect should have, because without patience, when you grow as an architect, when you have a larger firm, when you have larger projects, it's not that, you think it's not that very easy like you think. We do design and then it gets approved. Some of the projects we've been actually working for more than 2 years, still on the design stage. So for that, large projects, so you need to have a lot of patience. I would suggest for this generation, because I see a lot of kids nowadays, they just want, even my daughter just graduated from architecture from Cal Poly. So this generation, you all think, you want to become very big in just 1 year, 2 years. It's not possible, because you need to have patience, you need to grow, because this profession is all about, I would say, a little bit of luck, but more dedication and hard work is required. It's not like any other professions where overnight, 1, 2 years you perform, you can become a CEO or a president of a company. This is a little different profession, but we have recognition. We are one of those people in the society where we get that celebrity status as an architect. It's like we are celebrities. Architects and interior designers. So you just need to. With this, let me start today. I want to talk about design and rise of sky villas. So when I mean sky villas, these are large format apartments in I see in Hyderabad. I think it's like Hyderabad South and some of Pune and some of the cities. Now we have these large format apartments where the apartment size varies from 5,000 upwards. So the largest apartment single floor plate we are doing now is about 16,000 square feet. So it's almost like so 16,000 square feet apartment is like more than a decent size independent house. So, these are just the statics. 30% of population lived in cities in 1950. By 2050, it is projected that 70% of the population would live in cities. And this is just how high-rise buildings have been transferred. The first generation buildings just had its typical windows, some kind of cladding. And then the second generation building is Empire State Building. This is like high-rise, where you have the structural glazing started, but again within a limited width and ratio. The window ratio was small, and again it is the third generation now. We have is like complete unitized glass, DG glass, and then so it's a complete glass facade. Now before we have like a combination of paneling, glass, and the buildings are actually designed more on aerodynamics here, because a lot of people think designing a high rise is very easy, but if you see Burj Khalifa, the shape, it has some reason because it was designed like that. It is not only the architect design, it has the wind loads, it has the wind flows, it has lot of factors where the building shape is actually decided. So what are sky villas? So as I said, sky villas are residential spaces. So why sky villas? Because people may ask, I can own a villa, I'll have a land, I have my own land. So villa normally is you have your own land. Why should I have a sky villa? Sky villas are when you have scarcity of lands, and then you get good panoramic views. So sky villas normally give you good ventilation because you're in a height. It gives you a lot of fresh air, good sunlight, and then you have good panoramic views, and you have a community to live. So these sky villas are just catching up. So some of the things: scarcity of land, increased demand of residential spaces. So technological advancement also, of course. Now we have MIVAN technology, which is like before a high-rise building of 40 floors used to take us almost 4 years to complete. Now with MIVAN, the concrete walls and all, so we can finish the building in almost two years if the sales are good. Then why? Okay. Normally, the frequent questions we have from a lot of clients also: why sky villas? Why it cannot be a duplex apartment? Say why single floor of 6,000? Why cannot it be a duplex apartment of 6,000 square feet where we spread out 2 floors or 3 floors, triples and all? But as you see, the nowadays, even the parents for monitoring kids and all that is single. A lot of people are preferring single floor apartments because it's very easy to monitor. You are on the same floor, so all your living spaces, bedrooms, your home theaters, all are on the same floor. So it's very easy to have eye on the kids and even the parents, to even the elder ones we have at home. When we are in 2 floors, it's always little difficult to communicate. So that's why a lot of people nowadays are preferring larger floor plates. And of course, you have apartments with plunge pools, and then we have private elevators to your apartment. So it's dedicated apartment with an access card. So you have multiple lives. I mean, you can have multiple features like this. And because it's a single apartment, so you always have that privacy like an independent house in the sky. That's why we call them sky villas. So this is one of the first project I want to show you today. This is the twins. This is a twin tower we're doing in Hyderabad. So we are in halfway of the construction. We have finished about 22 floors. So here the plot area is very small. I mean 2 acres, but still we could do about 88 apartments. So 88 apartments of 16,000, like 15,999 is almost 16,000 square feet each apartment. So for each floor, you just have one apartment, and it's 16,000. So it is twin towers, and the height of the building is about 177 meters, and it's just one unit per floor. So if you see, this is the placement of the towers. So we have the linear site, and then 2 twin towers. So we have all the amenities in the ground floor. So ground and first, we have all the amenities like your indoor banquet halls, multi-purpose hall, restaurant, your lobbies, indoor badminton, squash. So most of these are in the ground and first floor. So all the amenities in the ground and first, and then the first apartment is from the second floor. So this is how it looks. If you see the typical floor, the ground floor, we have the amenities. A typical floor, we have dedicated entries on the right. So if you can look the lift lobby, the core is attached, and then we have dedicated entry. So all those lifts are access control. And then onto the towards right, you have your party area. So we have made the party area to one corner so that even if there are elders at the home, when the kids want to party, they are not disturbed, but they are at the home. So it's actually near the entrance, so people don't have to even enter your residence. So they can just walk in, and then we have an attached home theater and to the party area. And then this home we have 5 bedrooms. We have the maid quarters also tucked in the corner. So we have 2 maid quarters, part of the kitchen. And then so we have the 5 bedrooms, home theater, the party area, and the large spanned living rooms. So here we just created these large open panels, just the overall thing is a very large formats, like each grid is about 30 feet. So it was designed so that the end user will have his own chance of, he can customize whatever way he want. So make it into 2 rooms, 1 room. So that was another reason. So this is how it looks. This is a curvilinear building. 50% of the building is glass, and then 50% is concrete. This is also done in MIVAN. So what is MIVAN? MIVAN construction is basically foam. It's a structural steel structure where even your walls, slabs, most of the walls are concrete. So it happens, it gets repeated. So it is very easy for constructions and very easy for floor plates to repeat. And this can be done only when you have 50 repetitions. So you should have at least 50 repetitions for each apartment. Then only this MIVAN technology will work. Otherwise, it will be very expensive than your conventional construction. So we have large balconies. I think we have 2 large sit-outs, about 500 square feet each. And then we have a dedicated party area also. So these some of the visuals of the landscape. So we move on to the second project. So this is called Capital 45 floors, and this has 2 apartments in each floor, but each apartment will have its own privacy and it will look very independent. And this is also under construction. So we have finished about 15 slabs. This unit size is about 11,000. Each unit is about 11,000. So again here, because it's a single tower, so all the amenities will come in the ground and first. So when so in this project we have an indoor pool, heated pool in the ground floor, and then we have a terrace pool also. Apart from the standard amenities like a multi-purpose shuttle, restaurant, then you have a multiplex screen. So this is a layout. So when you look at this, so there are 2 apartments, but if you see the access of the lifts of each apartment, it's actually dedicated to this apartment. So you don't feel actually you have a neighbor, because you come out of the lift, you have a lift lobby, and then it's your main door. So the other apartment again has a dedicated lifts to that, because the entries are from that side. Even if it's a 2 apartments each floor, but still you have your own privacy, and each unit will look very independent of each other. And the center core is just for the service. We have given the maid quarters and the fire tower. So this also is like, it has about 4 bedrooms, multi-purpose hall, home theater. So when you do these large sky villas, at least we should have 1 large covered sit-outs, at least like say 300, 400 square feet. Because so when you do a larger apartment, the volume, the sizes of each bedroom, everything should increase. It's not that one room we give big and then we suddenly narrow it down. So as the scale increases, the scale has to be shown in every room. It's not only one particular area where it's. Another most important, when you do these large floor plates, the height of each floor has to be at least 3.6 meters. Because when you have large volumes, when the floor height is low, you feel it doesn't give you that luxury, or it doesn't give you that this thing. So normally when it's an apartment of 2,000, 3,000 square feet, 3.15 meters is always good. But when you design apartments on a large scale, at least some of the apartments we have given 4.5 meters floor to floor height. And this one is about 4 meters floor to floor. These are some of the visuals. This is the main entry. And when we do another important thing for students, when you do builder or developer oriented projects, your facades have to be very cost friendly also. Very rarely once in, say 2-3 years we get one project where there is no budget. But normally all this was, and even so this project, if you see, the fin, there's just a repetitive fin which goes all along the building. But it still looks very nice, it still looks very unique. But the cost is, everything is done in concrete. So each fin is So all these fins are repetitive and they are done in concrete. So the cost of the link, but still it looks iconic. So that is what we need to concentrate when we do for a lot of developers. You see here is just one fin I've created and just repeats multiple times. That creates that kind of. Actually, when you place the fins, you always have to be very careful. The fin should not, I mean, most of, at least for the Indian conditions, people don't like to see a fin when they look out of their windows or glass, when they have those views. So that is also another very important thing. When you placement of fins are also very important. So this is a sky pool. So in this we have sky pool, we have the cabanas, then we have floating seating. On the other side we have a small part here. This is the full terrace we have done. So this is another project in Hyderabad again called Ekavan. Here again it's a large format. But here if you see the first 22 floors, it has 2 units of 6,700. And after 22nd floor, we have a transfer slab. And then we have the 2 apartments merge into 1 apartment of 15,825. So the first 23 floors, you have 2 apartments and then it becomes 1. So this is almost, I mean, we have finished the structure. The finishings are going on. Again, this is a very site, I think most of you know, in Hyderabad and South, we have a lot of Vastu constraints while designing the apartments and all that. So the apartment has to be a proper rectangle or a square or anything. It cannot be shape. So we had a very odd shape. So we had to actually fit in one proper rectangle and then do the landscaping and other services all around it. Again, here we have the ground first 2-3 floors. We have all the amenities. So this is what I was telling. The first 23 levels will have 2 apartments each. So here also, if you see, this is a corridor. So entries are very different, and you still have your privacy of this thing. So there are, I mean, we have given the sit-outs double height here. That's why the plans are changing every alternate level. So one apartment will have double height sit-out here, another one will have it the other side. So we have given a double height sit-outs and alternate. So this is the upper level floor where we have the single floor plate. This is some of the visuals. This is complete glass building. These are the double height sit-outs I was talking about. So each apartment has a double height sit-out like this. These are some of the renders of the lobbies. The next apartment, we just finished this project. It's called the First Bed ESR. So this was our first project for a large scale apartments. So this is, here the sizes are 6,600. And this is about 100 meters tower. So this is the clubhouse again on the ground floor. I shall explain you, yeah. So this is the layout of the apartment. So what we have done here is, we have actually created different cores. So even if you have 4 apartments in the each floor, but still you feel you don't, actually see the other apartment. So each apartment is like an individual sky villa. So this apartment has dedicated lifts here. This will have dedicated lifts here. So we have done this orientation even to give more ventilation and more views. And in this apartment, actually, we have done a step like an independent house. We have 2 levels. We have 2 levels in the apartment. So this part is about, say, 0 level. The other one is about 450 mm high. So we have steps. So it is like a step level apartment. These were the renders. Here again, if you see, it's just a repetitive fin I've used, all done in concrete and then paint, and that's it. So less maintenance, and it's, I mean, it'll remain as it forever. So this is how it looks. These were the renders. This is the completed image. We completed 2 years back. So this is the building. Actual porch, the landscaping elements. So this is how it looks. Its fin has been repeatedly and changed the orientation so that it gives that. And then this is another project called Santo Sky Villas. The sizes here are 6,333, 6,333 and 7,333. So we have 4 blocks here. And this is almost in completion stage. Maybe another next 2 months, the project would be completed. So this is the layout. Basically, the site is about square. And then we have 4 blocks of 6,333, 2 blocks, and 7,333, 2 blocks. So this is the orientation, and here we have 2 apartments for each floor. So these apartments are like, if you see the 6,333 there are again 2 apartments for each floor, but most of them have separate entries. So even these, in the center core, we have servant quarter, maid quarters for this apartment and this apartment, but the entrances are very different. And this is one of, see, if you see most of the apartments we design, we have large sky terraces, which are actually needed because that's the place where the family could meet, family could get together, and it's like, it can be used for multiple spaces with a good view. So giving large terraces is very important. Here also we have some double height terraces, but we have done it in a very different way. I'll show, I think some of the renders are here. So if you see there on the right hand side, you can see part balcony is double height. So because we didn't have space to give full double height, so we have given part balcony is double height. So it goes alternate. So every apartment will have 50% of the balcony double heights. So which always heights give you that kind of luxury and this landscape is almost finishing, I think probably another 2 months. The next project is called W by DSR. This is again G plus 23 buildings. So here we have again 4 units, about 6,000 each. And again, this is a small area for a high rise, about 1.73 acres. So this is the layout. So as we had in other projects, the clubhouse are mostly in the ground floors, the amenities and all. So typical floor, we have 4 apartments. So each apartment has a dedicated lifts, private lifts to each apartment. And then here it's little, I mean, it's not that very private, but still because of the private elevators and all, still the owners, each apartment would feel very independent. So actually why this project was W, I think before we started the project, the client has named his venture W. So, I mean, there is no reason, but he named it W. So then we thought, why can't we do the facade around W? So then what we did, so here if you see, this corner, actually when it is in one corner, when you see the elevation, it gives the W in the facade. So what we have done here is, again if you see, there's nothing very expensive material, no claddings, nothing. It is just, I've played with the parapet wall and the glass. And we have given this facade and all the parapet railings have lights. So that creates the W, and I've given the shape of the parapet walls in shape, it creates a W in the corner. So this project is almost done. I mean, it's getting finished. So there's a rooftop bar which I have given for the residents apart from the regular clubhouse thing. We have an indoor heated pool with the part of amenities in the ground floor. Some of the lobbies designs. The last project I would be showing is Skyline. This is about 234.3 meters. This is, as of now, the South India's tallest tower. And then we have 5 towers in this project. The first block will have about 12,000 square feet each floor plate. Then B and C, about 7,400. And then another tower with 6,300. This has just started. We have finished basements and we are in the 4th slab. Again, if you see, this site is very, it's not as per this thing. And then we have a small canal going on one side. So when you have these canals, you always have to leave buffer. So there's a 9-meter buffer we have to leave, and then still it is a very tight site for 4 blocks, and then we have a separate clubhouse also on one corner. But we still managed to do it. And so this is the first block. The first block, A block is facing the road, and then this is the plan, what we've done. So this is one apartment, that's it, one apartment for each floor, 11,000, almost 12,000 square feet. You should be, I mean, most of you would be like, why it is all squares and rectangles? Because in Hyderabad we have vastu constraints, so most of the rooms, but I still feel, okay, still square blocks or rectangle would give you more circulation, more space in the room than a curvilinear curved. So whatever even facades you want to do, it has to be on the facade, but taking the building in a round shapes, like we have in most of the international projects, I think, because we have an office in Dubai also, so we do a lot of projects there. But when we do there, actually, we are also not very much comfortable because most of the rooms get cut in the round buildings, balconies get cut. I mean, you don't get efficient space. But I think anything like square or rectangular is always better. So that's the second B and C block, which is 7,400. Again, it's one apartment for each floor. So the entrance, right-hand side, we have the lobby, and then I think post-COVID, most of these apartments we design, I think even in 3,000 square feet apartments, home office is it has become one of those needs. So home office and home gym, most of the things we do. And then there's a fourth tower which has 2 apartments. So these apartments are about 6,400. But again, if you see, the entries have been very segregated. This apartment has entry to this corner, and this apartment has, so they're actually, even the lifts are facing opposite direction. So they don't actually face each other, but you have to. So this is the facade and entrance arch. So 5 towers and all. And this is about 70% glass facade, what we have done. And these towers have helipads. It's not it's not the builder requirement, but it's as per NBCC and fire department. So any tower which is above 180 meters needs to have a helipad. This is the clubhouse, separate clubhouse, which has all the amenities of 5 floors of clubhouse. Yeah, that's it.